What's going on, Jeromes? Happy Thursday out there, everyone. Daily Jeromes live stream, Monday through Thursday, talking Vikings, talking free agency, talking the draft, 11 a.m.-ish Central Time. Thanks for coming along. Last one of the week, finishing up strong. Let's go. First up, Lazy L. Jefferson, Hunter, and Peterson. Damn, I love LSU players. We should get more. Maybe Trey Turner. How about Joe Burrow? He's pretty good. Jamar Chase? Why not? Mike's videos. If we draft Darisaw in the first round, what should we do with our 2 third-rounders? BPA. Could be wide receiver, could be safety, could be offensive line again, could be 3-tech, could be edge. Lots of different ways they could go. The Falcons are open to trade the 4th overall pick. Which team will go for it? I think something crazy will happen. I think the Bears will give up like 3 first-round picks just to go get it. Because Ryan Pace is like, I'm going to get fired anyway. Why the hell not make another big move up? Master Mike, 11-17. Do you think the Vikings will draft all 4 fourth-rounders? No. I think one of them will get traded out. Do you think I think one will be used in a trade up, one will be used in a trade down. Sam Salinger Skull, rank these college players. Eskridge, Schwartz, Stearns, Mayners, Kellerman. I will go Eskridge, Mond, Stearns, Mayners, Schwartz. Cole Habza. Outside the Vikings, which other teams make the playoffs that didn't last year? The Jaguars. Duval. Love what they're doing. Miles. I just watched Micah Parsons. I want him bad. He's a pretty damn good player. Shea Badapati. Do you think Julio Jones will pass Randy Moss on the all-time receptions and receiving yards list? Well, let's take a look. PFR all-time receiving list. All right, so Julio, get the stretch. So Julio has 12, 8, 9, 6. Randy Moss has 15. So he's got what, 2,500 yards? 2,400 yards? Yeah, I think he'll pass him on there. Receiving-wise, let's look at receptions. Julio's 848. And Randy Moss is relatively low. 840. Yeah, he'll definitely catch Randy Moss on that. The Jerry Rice numbers are ridiculous. System wide receiver. Next up, people get so mad. Chris Danny Hansen. Would you rather have Aaron Rodgers host Jeopardy from now on or have to play against him for the next 10 years with the same level of play as last season? Well, the Vikings beat him at his house last year, so I'll take the latter. Bring it. Angling with Evan. Would the Vikings signing Teddy make them even less concerned about offensive linemen and protecting Kirk? Probably. Perp. Would you be upset if we ignored offensive line? Yes. And signed Jadeveon and Clowney? Yes. I always think that Clowney has been overrated. I think he serves a purpose, but not at the price that he would get and not the expense of the offensive line. Imagine how deadly a defensive line would be, though. Meh. Elliot Meechin. Until Clowney gets hurt in week 3. Elliot Meechin. Will Cosme, Ezra, and O'Neal be the best zone blocking offensive line league? Yes. Throw in Garrett Bradbury? Yes, absolutely. Throw in Kyle Hinton? Ooh, yes. Dylan Mullenhauer. Does Brian O'Neal have an all-pro season in him? Yes. I think this year he steps up to the plate, has a Ramchick type year, and I think that he is quickly on his way to being one of the best right tackles in the game. Eric Anderson. Patrick Peterson wants to wear number 7 this year if the NFL changes their rules. Yeah, we did a video on single-digit numbers that guys could go to. I would love to see Justin Jefferson rocking the deuce. That'd be a lot of fun. Although a lot of people who bought his jersey last year would be like, gotta buy another jersey. It's a big money-making opportunity for the NFL. Chris Danny Hansen, best type of steak, New York strip, skirt, T-bone, porterhouse, filet, blah, blah, blah. Cut of steak specifically or beef in general? Because I'm a brisket guy. Come on. But steak, I'm most partial to ribeye. Yeah. Ribeye with the fat content is just great. Where I know the people cream their jeans over filet. Oh, it's so tender. I don't know. I feel like you have to have a little gnaw with your jaw with steak. So, yeah, medium rare or slightly below medium rare ribeye. Go ahead. On the bone. Let's go. A favorite recipe for it, cook it. Samuel Salinger Skull. Who would you like to have back next season most? Bert Jones. I will take Brett Jones because he started 2 games at a high level last year. The rest of them, whatever. MKS out of my top 4 receivers in this class. I got Eskridge. One hot take. It's a little bit of a hot take. So I would go Chase, Devontae, Waddle, Bateman. Yeah, I think that's my big 4. Ross Bodle. Who do you think will be the top 3 wide receivers in this class? We all went through that. Who has the highest ceiling out of Bradbury? Ezra O'Neal. It's got to be O'Neal, especially since he's getting towards the ceiling anyway. Michael Slayton. How would you order the Vikings' needs after offensive line? I will go offensive line again. I'll go O-line, 3 tech, safety, 3 tech, wide receiver, safety, tight end, edge rusher, linebacker, running back. Up. Tristan D, if I say we ride if the Vikings don't trade for Orlando Brown Jr. and don't address offensive line early in the draft, I'm in. Yes. Perp, is there a free agent wide receiver that you would want the Vikings target post-draft if they don't address wide receiver in draft? D.D. Westbrook. Sign him. Keenan McCardle. Come on, man. Jacob Cook. If Gladney is cut, do we get any cap space back now? They actually have to eat some dead cap. Let's look here. Spot Rock. Gladney. I think Spot Rack actually took his contract off the... Maybe they didn't. So since he's a first-round pick, his base salaries in the first 4 years of his deal are fully guaranteed. So the Vikings will have to eat those dead cap hits. So yeah, they'll have... if they cut him, they'll have $7.8 million in dead cap. That's the proration of a signing bonus plus the remaining guarantees on his deal. Now, they could... like we talked about yesterday, there are provisions in there where they could get out of the guarantees, whether it's breaking the law, whether it's character stuff, whether it's failing a drug test or getting suspended. There are ways that this contract can be voided. So perhaps the Vikings do pick up cap space. So if they just straight up cut him, yeah, they'll have to eat some dead. We'll see. Next up. Tristan D, if the Vikings lost to Jaguars and they still had the number 1 pick, would Zimmer have been fired? Oh, so lost to Jaguars and they still have number 1? I don't know. Probably not. Char and S, rank your top 5 quarterbacks in this draft. Lawrence, Wilson, Lance, Fields, Mack. Ruben Barajas, what do the Vikings have to give up to get to number 4 overall? I think it's 3 first-rounders, 14 and 2 future ones. Next up, Jeff Fields, McCormick. Do you think the Vikings try to trade up from 14? If so, how far they trade up? I don't know. It'd have to be Penei Sewell. I don't think they trade up for a quarterback. But yeah, if Penei Sewell falls, say he gets to 8 in Carolina and the quarterbacks are off the board, Carolina's sort of whatever. Make the deal. Make a move. God. Ted Schiffen. With the Gladney news, do you see the Vikings taking a chance on anyone with character concerns coming into the draft? Is Micah Parsons' option? Well, Parsons' character concerns is that he was allegedly involved in a hazing incident. So that's obviously concerning, but is a deal breaker for most teams? Probably not. And with Gladney, there was allusions to failed drug tests, except nothing to the scale of what he was charged with. So, if you're looking, this is a problem. If you're looking for players that have zero character issues, are completely clean, completely Boy Scouts, I mean, you're going to have like 5 players on your 53-man roster. Everyone's got something. Plus, I mean, Dalvin Cook was considered a character issue because of some of those things at Florida State. But that's certainly turned around. Like, he's been a mature team leader, phenomenal human being when he's been the Vikings. So, yeah. Skolin, how would you feel with a starting offensive line combination of Cleveland, AVT, Bradbury, Udo, and O'Neal? Yes, fine with that. Who would be the most likely to start where in this scenario? I think it'd be yes, I'm in. Callum Spurlock. Would the Ravens take 14 at third round in exchange for 27 Orlando Brown Jr.? I don't think so. Now, if they have other offers, I think that's like bottom barrel. Josh Imset. Which teams would trade a guard under contract for Dalvin Cook? All of them. I don't know. Given Dalvin's contract, yeah, meh. Even though it gets pretty edible after next year. Gobble 92. I'm worried that Dennis is handing Dozier and Samia the starting jobs when we draft cornerback 14. Your thoughts? I wouldn't put anything past Rick Dennison, where he's stubborn, he is loyal to a fault, and that he's really, really good. About that. Let us know where you're watching from. We'll give a couple shout-outs. Gobble 92. I'm worried that Dennison is handing... we talked about that one. Caleb Carter. On April Fool's Day, a buddy of mine posted on Facebook, random McDaniel joined the Vikings. That made the rounds. Meh. The what in WTF? Now should the Vikings be after Steven Nelson? So the Steelers cut him. Yeah, sure, why not? I think he's only 28 or 29. Sure. Dylan Mulhauer. What's your favorite meat to make, and how do you make it? How do you do it? Kind of goes around, like brisket's obviously really good. Pulled pork is amazing. Ribs. Also, just some simple things like chicken thighs or chicken quarters. I mean, come on, get some. I would have to say right now, ribs. So I'm not the ribs got to fall off the bone kind of guy. Like I mentioned, I like a little gnaw up my jaw. So I will do I'll do my ribs Memphis style. So dry. So a lot of people do like the 3-2-1, where 3 hours on the smoke, 2 hours wrapped up, 1 hour back on the grill. But I'll just do 4 hours at like 250, 275. Just putting the ribs on there. We'll get loin back ribs, so a little bit thicker. Yeah, and then just do them with the dry rub as opposed to a wet mop. Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it. Yeah, as of right now, that's the leader in the clubhouse. Miguel Jaime. You think the Vikings will take a linebacker in the draft at some point? Yes, I think they will. A couple shout-outs. Purple Rain Skull from Wausau, Wisconsin. Samurai Sound of the Skull, Austria. Louis Gratton, Ontario. What's up? Bulford Skull, Nashville. Let's see. Our guy Scott Thiel, the programmer, Any Given Sunday. Any Given Sunday is underrated as one of the better movies out there. It's up there with one of the best sports movies. Love that Lawrence Taylor plays Lawrence Taylor. It's good. Al Pacino as that throwback, stick in the mud, old school coach. Nick Crozier as a 12-year-old boy. Or Aaron Eckhart, rather. Willie Beeman. Steven Beeman. Come on. Julian Washington. LL Cool J as the running back. How can I like that movie? Yeah. Ellen Broomleave, Southern Illinois, Salukis. Shay Roher, Caledonia. Crazy Hill people, what up? Tony Wilshire, Desmonet, Thor the War, California. David Randall Howell, Memphis. He knows about ribs. What's up? Angling with Evans, South Dakota. Waterproof, Switzerland. Sam Heckel, Northeast Minneapolis. What up? We got Minnesota, Montreal, South Dakota, Hudson. You guys are the best. Thanks for coming along today. Rainy day in Minnesota. Most parts of it. Paney Comics. Which players on the Rooster do you think will be cut by the time they decide the initial 53? I think Chad Beebe's on the bubble. His contract isn't guaranteed. Abdullah, if they draft a running back, or if they bring in high-quality UDFA. I think Jalen Holmes' place on the Rooster could be up in the air. Yeah, I'm sure there's more. Griffin Creer. Did Dozier ever have a good game last year? Not that I can recall. Randy Zellen. It's all set up to draft best available offensive lineman. I don't trust Spielman to do that. I don't. Joe Barton. Who's your favorite Vikings personality of all time? No one. Oh, B-Rob. Yeah, Brian Robinson, 96 questions. That's pretty easy. Atso Mikinen. I think the chances of drafting a quarterback at 14 and starting Rashad Hill left tackle and Dozier left guard are close to 100%. I don't think it's 100, but it's a larger percentage than I'm comfortable with. I would say it's probably like 24%, somewhere in there. But I'm not so upset about corner at 14 because if you take a corner at 14, he's going to be a nail driver. You look at Surtain or Farley, if the medicals are good, J.C. Horn, Newsome. Like I don't think they just reach for a corner at 14 just to take one. But yeah, the Dozier at guard thing. I'm relatively okay with Rashad at left tackle, even though Ezra would be a better choice. But smartest. With the Panthers trading for Darnold, I think there's a real possibility that Fields, Jones, or Lance might fall. No, I think the Panthers understood that those guys were going to be locked up. I wouldn't be shocked if 5 quarterbacks are taken in the first 7 picks. Perp, how much do you think practicing against Pearson Thomas will help Bradbury? Couldn't hurt. Couldn't hurt at all. Angling with Evan, who is the biggest game changer who could fall for us with their second pick? So 78. Maybe Eskridge gets that far. Probably not. Say Aleem McNeil, the defensive tackle from NC State, I like a lot. Trey Smith, the guard from Tennessee, big fan of him. Kylan Hill, the running back from Mississippi State, could be in that third round mix. Cornerback wise, I like Shakur Brown. I like Trey Brown. I like Ambry Thomas. Safety, that's could be where Hufanga, Cade Stearns. Yeah, roughly that area where they go. Who else? I don't know. Maybe Jarrell Cox falls that far. Probably not. But you never know. It's a weird year. Next up. Oh, or Jamie Newman. David Jones. Do you think Penny Sewell is worth all the extra draft capital trade up for? Yes. Do it. Ted Schiffen. Any prospect in that second, third tier of offensive tackles that could be a quality guard? I know how is that moving guys around. Leatherwood actually played 2 years of guard. He was sort of whatever there. I think that he would be field. Yes, definitely. Actually, I think he might be a better guard than tackle. Carmen, yeah, I think he's going to have to make his living inside. I think Radunz, given the Vikings scheme, I think he could kick inside. Same thing with Sam Cosmi, but it seems like a waste of a talent. But you still have Ezra too. Who else? Oh, James Hudson. Hudson only has 1 year of tackle experience, and I think that his time as a defensive tackle could help him out if he kicked inside. Yeah. Tad Skull, who do you think has the coolest job in sports media, journalism, entertainment? No one. All the jobs kind of suck. I don't know, probably Pat McAfee. Mainly because he's on his own, doesn't have to answer to bosses, doesn't have to answer to overlords, and he owns his own content, built up a big audience. Oh, no. Rogan. Rogan is his own guy, but, sports, whatever. It's kind of sports. He's got his MMA show. Yeah. Joey Pesic. If the Vikings address the offensive line properly, is this the best Vikings team of the Zimmer era? Yes, certainly could be. Could be the best offense, and that defense is shades of 2017 with all of those parts. McNiller, who are the top day 2, 3 edge rushers the Vikings can target to compete with Wanham for the starting job for the, say, best offensive line at 14? So let's see. Say back end of round 2, early round 3, guys like Ronnie Perkins from Oklahoma. I know you might get dinged because of measurables, but he's just a really good player. Chauncey Golston, I like from Iowa. Could be in that 3rd round, 4th round mix. Patrick Jones from Pitt. Jordan Smith, the long, lengthy guy from UAB. A little bit stiff, but what can you do there? And then Dio Dingbo from Vanderbilt, where if his health is good to go, I think he'll be good to go. So, I mean, it's not the edge class is a lot like the defensive tackle class, where there's not a lot of high-end guys, but there's a lot of dudes that you like in the mid-rounds. You could even throw Cameron Sample in there out of Tulane. You could throw in Quincy Roche from Miami, who's a phenomenal player at Temple. Yeah. Perp. How much of a boost would this offensive line give if we sign Trey Turner? All of them. All of it. All of it. All of it. If we sign Trey Turner, do you trust Rick Dennison to get back to his real self? No, but I trust him to get back. Ted Schiffen. Who moves the needle towards the Super Bowl run more? Darisaw and Darden, Bateman, and Kendrick Green. Darisaw, Darden. Yeah. I'm not here. Don't draft a quarterback this year. I really want Ritter next year. Well, Ritter might go first round. Might go top 10, might go top 5. So the wheels have to fall off if the Vikings are going to get Desmond Ritter. Ryan Topper. Could you see Rick shocking everyone and taking Darisaw at 14, Jack Carmen 78, and Josh Myers at 90? It would be a nice shock. I would prefer... I'm not thrilled about Jackson Carman. I can't put my finger on it, but I'm just not. And Josh Myers, yeah, yeah. But if it's Darisaw Trey Smith, okay, baby, we got a stew going. Max McElroy. As much as Vikings fan need a guard, I really think problem is solved with AVT. Yes. Pulford Skull. I would not be mad at all. Actually, very excited the Vikings trade back at all, and with the last 2 picks, take Borregals and so kicker punter. Nah. There'll be some decent talent as UDFAs. David Vukovic. I see the Vikings taking defensive BPA at 14. I love Joke to be slot corner and nickel. That would actually be wild, man. He's got the talent to do it. Even if they've traded down a bit, see Ezra left tackle. So defensive BPA. If it's Parsons, take him. If it's a cornerback, sure. If it's Joke, sure. If it's Morig, yeah. But then they got to hammer offensive line, man. And they have to maneuver and get that thing done. But that's it. That is the Daily Jeromes live stream for Thursday, last one of the week. And hope you're staying warm. April showers bring Mayflowers or whatnot. We're 3 weeks from the drafts. How amazing is that? There you go. Subscribe. Come along for daily Vikings takes. You guys are the best. Talk to you Monday. Skol.